Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Business of OTT. I'm Chris Linden, the Chief Operating Officer here at ActiveVideo. Today, I'm joined by Martin Gibson, who's our Vice President of Device Ecosystems. Welcome, Martin.
Hi, Chris. Good to be here.
So, Martin, last time we spoke, we talked a little more broadly around what's happening in the industry and your experience in the industry. I'd like to dig in a little further into what's happening here at ActiveVideo. Maybe we can start with your design philosophy and what you're trying to accomplish with the client development activity here at ActiveVideo and some of the things that make it unique.
Like a lot of people, we want to take a lowest common denominator approach. So we want to enable as many devices as possible, but we want to also realize that as far back as we reach, we may disenfranchise current devices. So we want to have a reasonable device reach and limit ourselves to building block functionality within that sort of lowest common denominator approach. So we look at devices that are capable of HD, decode, that have a GPU, and that's our baseline. That's where we start. And then we work upwards from that. We have adopted a couple of well-known strategies that a lot of people have used in the industry. One of the first things we've done is formalized a design by contract approach. So for every function we document and expose, we have the design by contract notion of a precondition or a requirement, an invariant, and a post-condition or an ensurement. The idea being that we want to clearly state to the integrator what needs to be in place before they do the work, before they integrate the function, what needs to not change as a result of integrating the function, and what needs to have changed as a result of integrating the function. So we want to very clearly bound the problem space so there can't be any confusion or misunderstanding. It's a very simple approach, and this goes all the way back to the foundations of the Eiffel language, so it's well known. The second thing we want to do is limited symbolic linkage dependencies. We're trying to provide a component that doesn't require multiple symbols to be in place before the integrator is able to exercise or test a single piece of functionality. What we often see is folks that like to force partners to stub every single function in an interface. We would like to have something where, along with limited symbolic linkage dependencies, we have a registration framework so that the integrator can add function by function. It allows them to stage their integration, to test it iteratively, and to have a very clear understanding of progress. So we want to make life as easy for them as possible and as deterministic as possible.
What do you give these integrators? What do you provide to them? And how long do it typically take to integrate the ActiveVideo client?
We have an SDK, software development kit, that we dispatch along with the library itself. And that kit will contain all of the header files. It has documentation, both generated from the API, plus a series of application notes against anything that we may have discovered in the past. A knowledge base, if you will. So a collection of those most relevant explanations that other people may have come across that needed covering. We provide reference code. So against a known generic and standard set of integrations, we have a reference client integration that people can use to study, to stand up against, for example, a Broadcom reference device, and they can use as the basis for their own build. And then obviously we will compile the client itself and release that along with the SDK to the partner to integrate.
And are there specific key integration points that these partners need to be considerate of?
We tend to stage things really across three main touch points. So the first is just the ability to send events, send keystrokes, and show the graphics. The second would be the addition of media. So can I play audio? Can I play video? And then the last distinct piece would be the CDN integration, the DRM itself. And that's an easy way to split things up. Those are the easiest touch points to talk to as well, because they separate nicely on logical interfaces. You know, we have this notion of OpenGL remoting. So that tends to cover the bulk of the graphic side of things. Then we have our proxy interface, which tends to cover all of the video, the audio, anything associated. And then separate to that, we have a CDN interface, which is something I believe most people will be familiar with. It's very much along the lines of EME, MSE standards. It looks like the Android DRM. It's logically standards based, so it looks very much like what people are familiar with.
Okay, that's good. And I know you've got a team both in the United States as well as in the Netherlands. Do your teams support the integration process with the partners? And is this something that takes 3 months, 4 months to get done end to end once people get moving?
We believe this should be quick. And obviously the focus of my team is to advance the client, but also to improve the quality of the integration materials. We want to learn from any mistakes we may have made and make sure that we don't make those same mistakes again. We want the integrators to be as self-sufficient as possible so that they don't actually need our help. That's the ideal. In the scenarios where they do need help, we will deal with them over a variety of channels, whether that be email, Jira, etc. But the idea is that we provide as much information as possible so that the integrator is as self-sufficient as possible. We will support on an as-needed basis.
Great. All right, Martin, thanks a lot for your help today and helping us understand what's going on with the ActiveVideo client.
Sure.
And thanks for all of you for watching. And we look forward to seeing you again in another Business of OTT. Take care.